Hello again, this is Pam, and welcome to the reading of the Mansfield News Journal for Monday, March 29th. As always, let's begin today's reading with the area deaths. Jason P. Crestina, known as Jake, traded his battle-worn jersey for a new, spotless uniform after passing away Tuesday, March 23rd. He was just 44. Visitation will be Monday, March 29th from 1 to 3 p.m. and 5 to 8 p.m. at Impact Church in Mansfield, where Jason's funeral will be held Tuesday at 11 a.m. Catherine Fagan passed away on Saturday, March 20th, in Kingston of Ashland after an extended illness. Funeral services will be held on Tuesday at 11 in the Providence Baptist Church with Pastor Mark Cobb officiating. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the funeral service from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Mildred E. Fry, 96, of Mansfield, passed away Monday morning, March 22nd, at Ohio Health Mansfield Hospital. The family will receive friends from 9 to 10 on Friday, April 2nd, at the Ontario home of Wapner Funeral Directors. The funeral service will follow at 10 a.m. Helen Desterhoff Griffith, 100, of Edgewater, Florida, passed away peacefully on March 18th at the Brilliance of Edgewater Assisted Living. Services will be at a later date. Andrew Mickley passed away Thursday, March 25th, in Ohio Health Mansfield Hospital. He was 62. The Mickley family will receive friends Tuesday, March 30th, from 1 to 3 p.m. in the Belleville Snyder Funeral Home. Face coverings are expected and social distancing will be observed. And that concludes the area deaths available from today's articles. Now we will begin with our first article. Betty Jo Dial sentenced in a baby abuse case. Paisleys with foster parents who hope to adopt her, by Mark Cottle. A 20-year-old Belleville woman will spend nearly 3 months in juvenile detention for severely injuring a then 7-week-old girl in 2018. Betty Jo Dial appeared in Richland County Juvenile Court on Thursday for sentencing. She was convicted earlier this month in a rare juvenile court trial before Judge Steve McKinley. Dial was found guilty of felonious assault and 2 counts of endangering children and was declared a serious youth offender. She was a month shy of 18 when she injured her daughter Paisley Hughes, now 3. Hughes suffered abusive head trauma, what used to be called shaken baby syndrome. In layman's terms, it is a split brain. Assistant Prosecutor Terry Burnside previously told the News Journal. Devastating injuries. Paisley will probably be in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. She developed cerebral palsy and cannot speak. She is in the care of a foster family which plans to adopt her. Dial cried as she entered the courtroom. Her mother and stepfather were on hand to support her. She was wearing all blue, meaning she was on honors while being held in detention. Dial has been at the Juvenile Justice Center since her conviction. Defense attorney Terry Hitchman asked the judge to consider probation to allow Dial to keep her job and continue counseling. She has behaved herself and done well, Hitchman said. The defense attorney told Dial to stand up and take her mask off when it was her turn to address the court. I just ask that I get a chance at probation so I continue working and see my daughters, Dial said. She did not apologize or mention Paisley. Paisley's foster parents could not attend Thursday's hearing, but they did send a letter, which victim advocate Jamie Akers read to the court. Paisley is loved very much. She has changed our lives for the better, they wrote. She is unbelievably happy. Assistant Prosecutor Matt Metcalf asked McKinley to send Dial to the Department of Youth Services today. He said he disagreed with the pre-sentence investigation prepared by Lisa Benson, Director of Court Services. Benson did not recommend a stint at DYS, where Dial could be held until she turns 21 on June 13th. This is 3 counts of violent felonies against a 7-week-old, Metcalf said. Betty Jo Dial was less than a month away from being 18. She was almost an adult. Metcalf said the infant suffered devastating injuries. Paisley is permanently harmed. She almost died. They had to put her on life support and put her on a feeding tube for 2 weeks, he said. We don't know exactly what happened. We know she was abused. Metcalf said Dial's trial was delayed once because she had to undergo a C-section, and once because Richland County was listed as purple in the COVID-19 advisory warning system. The assistant prosecutor said neither delay was the state's fault. He lamented the case as not going to trial sooner, so Dial could have received more time. McKinley pushed back against the assertion, saying the offense happened in May 2018, but the state didn't file charges for 14 months. It seemed the state would have brought the case sooner, said the judge. Metcalf said it was a complicated case that required a number of medical records. Metcalf noted Dial was supposed to have no contact with co-defendant Richard Hanna, whose case is pending in Common Pleas Court. They've had 2 more kids together, Metcalf said. Those children are staying with a relative, Burnside said. She's not getting the message, Metcalf said. I think she does have anger issues. I think that needs to be addressed. Benson addressed the court about her pre-sentence investigation. She said Dial's probation officer in Morrow County and a counselor gave her very high marks and said she could succeed. In issuing his sentence, McKinley said the state's argument to send Dial to DYS were not reasonable. He wanted Dial to remain where she is to continue her counseling. DYS is a place of last resort, McKinley said. The judge also rejected probation, saying the severity of harm caused to the child would be demeaned. McKinley said Dial has not taken responsibility and committed the offense while on probation for disorderly conduct in Morrow County. The judge said there would be no fine, and he suspended court costs. If Dial fails to complete her stint in juvenile detention, she could be sent to DYS. If that happens and Dial fails, she could be sent to adult prison for 4 to 5 years. McKinley encouraged Dial before she left court. Betty, take care, the judge said. This doesn't have to be the end of the story. There certainly can be redemption for you. Judge's ruling could affect local renters by Monroe Trombley. Mansfield Municipal Court is adhering to a federal judge's decision that the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC, lacked the authority to issue a nationwide moratorium on rental evictions. U.S. District Court Judge J. Philip Calabrese in the Northern District of Ohio ruled earlier this month that the CDC exceeded the scope of its authority in issuing an eviction ban for tenants who have been financially harmed by the pandemic, but stopped short of granting an injunction that would have stopped the agency from enforcing the moratorium. The CDC moratorium, first issued under former President Donald Trump, expired at the end of the month. To win protection, a tenant must sign a declaration printed from the CDC website and handed over to his or her landlord. In light of the recent decision out of the Northern District, should the plaintiff meet all of the statutory requirements, the eviction would be granted, even if the court were to be presented with a CDC declaration. John McAllister, magistrate of Mansfield Municipal Court. However, due to the moratorium set to expire on March 31st, the issue is now moot for any future eviction cases, he added. Reason being, move-out dates for any future eviction cases would be after March 31st. Mansfield Municipal Court is allowing landlords with cases dismissed under the CDC moratorium to refile those evictions. From the start, the moratorium has faced criticism and its interpretation has varied widely. Mansfield Municipal Court, for instance, dismissed most, if not all, eviction cases until December, when more guidance was released. Judge Calabrese's decision applies only to courts within the legal jurisdiction of Ohio's Northern District, which serves about 6 million people in the state's 40 most northern counties. It makes the moratorium vulnerable the next time a landlord wants to challenge a particular case, said Graham Bowman of the Ohio Poverty Law Center. They'll be able to argue that the moratorium is invalid and should not be enforced. The ruling in Ohio came 2 weeks after the U.S. District Judge J. Campbell Barker in the Eastern District of Texas determined that the CDC's moratorium was unconstitutional. The Justice Department is appealing that order. They could overrule the decision, or they could agree with it, and maybe even issue a nationwide injunction, Bowman said. We don't know what's going to happen. In the early days of the pandemic, the Ohio Poverty Law Center pushed for a statewide eviction moratorium, but according to Bowman, Governor Mike DeWine and Maureen O'Connor, Chief Justice of the Ohio Supreme Court, felt they did not have the authority to issue one, and the Ohio General Assembly declined to act. Still, local courts and governments have the authority to issue their own moratorium on rental evictions or delay the eviction process by continuing cases, according to Bowman. The Washington Post reported Wednesday that the Biden administration is weighing whether to extend the eviction moratorium once more or have another agency other than the CDC enforce the policy. It's a very uncertain time for renters and landlords, not knowing what the future will hold for this policy, Bowman said. The debate over the CDC order comes at a time when many Ohioans are struggling to pay for basic expenses and falling behind on rent. About 10% of Ohioans are behind on rent or mortgage payments and aren't sure they can make next month's payment, according to the U.S. Census Bureau's Pulse survey. That being said, there is assistance available. The American Rescue Plan will distribute more than $21 billion to states for emergency rental assistance, on top of the $25 billion provided in December's relief bill. In Ohio, community action agencies have been distributing aid though it's unclear whether the local agency, Community Action Commission of Erie, Huron, and Richland counties, will be tasked with doling out rental assistance included in the American Rescue Plan. I haven't heard anything yet, says Jennifer Atwell, the county's supervisor, but we will still have other aid. We have a lot of aid right now. To apply, visit www.cacehr.org. That's www.cacehr.org, or call 419-589-2520. Again, 419-589-2520. For free legal advice, a clinic is held 5 to 7 p.m. every fourth Monday of each month at First United Methodist Church, 12 North Diamond Street. Appointments can be made through Love, Inc. Ministry by calling 419-522-1432. That's 419-522-1432. Well, Madison Township could be coming out of fiscal caution by Al Lawrence, special to the Mansfield News Journal. Madison Township could be out of a fiscal caution declaration in the not-too-distant future. Township Fiscal Officer Lee Ann Rhodes told trustees at a special meeting late Thursday afternoon the state auditor's local government services section is doing an analysis of township finances to see if the designation can be lifted. Trustees called a special meeting to make revisions in the 2021 final appropriations that were approved Monday in order to correct 3 small oversights Rhodes discovered when she was preparing documents to file with the county auditor's office for review. Changes total just over $7,000. The changes total $7,053 and include $970 for public employees' retirement, $2,000 in the Fire Education and Enforcement Fund to pay for educational materials used in school programs, and an additional $4,083 to pay off the loan used to purchase for the fire department's Medic Unit 71. After this discussion, I have to send to the county auditor our permanent appropriations for the year, and what they do is they look at those compared to the actual budget that's available for appropriation, Rhodes said. It's not over budget, so I expect they will approve it. Minding the carryover, the appropriations total a little over $3.8 million, while the total budget is nearly $5.6 million, which includes carryover funds that were not spent in 2020. We're going to have to look closely at next year's budget because we don't want that carryover to go any lower, says trustee Kathy Swank. The board noted earlier this week that 2021 appropriations are about $400,000 over estimated revenue, which will eat into the carryover. Rhodes did not say how that trend would affect the state's financial review or when the review might be completed. Madison Township was designated as being in fiscal caution in 2012 after the state auditor's office determined that township fiscal records were unaudible and the township failed to meet a 90-day deadline to restore financial records to an audible condition. And now a little good news. Richland County case rate falls by Monroe Trombley. The number of people in Richland County contracting COVID-19 continues to fall. New cases per 100,000 residents in the past 2 weeks dropped to 111 on Thursday from 134, according to the state's Public Health Advisory System, or the COVID-19 heat map. Richland County reported 134 cases in the last 2 weeks, according to the system, and has the 55th highest number of COVID-19 cases per capita out of 88 counties. On Thursday, the overall incident rate in Ohio was 146.9 per 100,000 residents, up from 143 on March 18th. Governor Mike DeWine said he would lift all health orders at 50 new cases per 100,000 residents. Richland County remains red. For the 14th week, Richland County remained red, the second highest level on the COVID-19 heat map. Counties with more than 100 cases per 100,000 people are coded red, no matter how many of the system's 7 indicators are triggered. Hospital rate has plateaued. Virus-related hospitalizations in Richland County Hospitalization Region have barely budged since last week. On Thursday, there were 165 COVID-19 patients across 13 Northeast Ohio counties, including Richland, according to the Ohio Hospital Association. That's up from 157 on March 13th. Richland County, as of Thursday, had recorded 10,604, or 87 since March 18th, 579 hospitalizations, and 197 deaths, according to the Ohio Health Department. More than 26,500 people in Richland County, nearly 22% of the county's population, have received at least one shot of a COVID-19 vaccine, according to the state's online dashboard, while more than 15,000 people are considered fully vaccinated. To compare, about 19% of the county's population had received at least one shot on March 18th. Mansfield will host a mobile vaccination clinic that will serve north central Ohio, but dates have yet to be announced. Starting Monday, another 3.6 million Ohioans between 16 and 39 will become eligible to receive a shot. California variant detected in Mansfield. Health officials continue to urge Ohioans to wear masks and social distance until more of the state's population gets vaccinated against COVID-19. Richland Public Health announced Tuesday that a variant first discovered in California and thought to be more contagious than earlier forms of the coronavirus have been detected in Mansfield. And now, area lawmakers vote to override the veto by Monroe Trombley. State Representative Marilyn John and State Senator Mark Romachuk joined their fellow Republicans Wednesday in voting to override Governor Mike DeWine's veto of a bill that would change how health orders work. Senate Bill 22, which takes effect in 90 days, gives lawmakers the power to reject or modify statewide health orders, such as mask mandates, and lets the Ohio General Assembly extend or end state of emergency declarations. The Senate voted 23-10 to override DeWine's veto. The House held a 62-35 override vote soon after. Both votes were largely along party lines. John, a former Richland County Commissioner serving her first term in the Ohio House of Representatives, said in a statement that Ohio's government is supposed to be 3 co-equal branches implemented through checks and balances on one another. After over a year of mandated health orders and shutdowns, it's time that you, the people, my constituency, have more of a say on the orders being enacted. Senate Bill 22 will change that, and I'm proud to have supported it, John said. I want to ensure you that your voice is represented, and Senate Bill 22 helps me as a legislator make that a reality. John represents Ohio's 2nd House District, or all of Richland County, while Romachuk represents Ohio's 22nd Senate District, which includes portions of Richland, Ashland, and Medina counties. Supporters of Senate Bill 22, first passed by the Ohio General Assembly on March 10th, say it provides a check to the power of Ohio's executive branch. Critics argue the changes will hinder the state's ability to respond to future pandemics or outbreaks of infectious disease like Ebola. Senate Bill 22 strips local health departments and the Ohio Department of Health of their ability to protect Ohio citizens from these possible future threats, DeWine wrote in a letter explaining his decision for vetoing the bill. He also urged in the letter addressed to lawmakers that portions of Senate Bill 22 are unconstitutional, violate the separation of powers doctrine of the Ohio Constitution, and would open the state up to lawsuits. DeWine, a Republican from Greene County, has vetoed 4 bills since his term began in 2019. Wednesday marked the first time legislators voted to overturn one. And up next, Golden Corral celebrates its grand reopening by Lou Whitmire. In Ontario, a line of customers flocked to Golden Corral Buffet and Grill on Thursday at 11 a.m. for the restaurant's grand reopening. The restaurant closed Thanksgiving Day due to the coronavirus taking a toll on the business, said the owners, Renee and John Sears. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held with Richland Area Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development officials just minutes before the door opened to the public. The buffet is open, but masks must be worn inside the restaurant and at the buffet bar. Masks are not required by people at a table eating. A one-way only line is in place to keep social distancing requirements intact. If someone has a medical reason not to wear a mask, then we self-serve them, Renee Sears said. Favorite foods are back, except there is no chocolate fountain, but all the same desserts are available, including the products used in the fountain that are served a different way, the owner said. A sign was posted at the business in 2020. Until mandates are lifted, we have made the decision to close temporarily. This saddens us to no end and appreciate your business, the sign posted by the management read. This has put a toll on finances and we can no longer stay open. This is temporary. Until COVID is gone and restrictions are lifted, we do not plan on opening back up. Thank you all, John and Renee Sears. We are excited to be opened back up. COVID's been a toll on everyone. It's really hit the restaurants bad, Renee Sears said. She said some of the staff has returned, but they lost some employees during the shutdown to other jobs. Others are giving notice to current employers and returning to work at Golden Corral. We have a crew of great people who work here. It's been hard on everybody. Our employees, that's the hardest thing we've ever had to do is tell someone we're shutting down, she said. The Sears bought the restaurant in June 2019. The couple said it took what they had in their retirement savings to keep the restaurant open, and when the money ran out, they had to close. Now, hopefully, we're open for good. That's what we're planning on, she said. We're excited to be back, and we love the community and to come out and see us, Renee Sears said. Through April 1st, there is a special for customers. With one adult meal purchased, a meal is free for a child aged 12 and under, and no coupon is required. Restaurant hours are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. On Friday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. On Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. And on Sundays, 8:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Breakfast is served on the weekends. And in business briefs, United Church Homes signs management contract with a Mansfield facility. In Marion, United Church Homes, UCH, welcomed 2 senior living communities to its growing network of older adult communities. On March 1st, UCHM entered a 3-year contract to provide management support services to Mansfield Memorial Homes in Mansfield. The not-for-profit senior living campus in Richland County is home to 200 older adults and provides a full continuum of residential and healthcare services that includes skilled nursing, short-term rehabilitation, assisted living, and affordable independent living. The community was founded in 1953. Chief Executive Officer Miles Parson is now an employee of United Church Homes and will continue to manage the daily operations of Mansfield Memorial Homes. UCH will work with Parsons to provide a wide range of consulting services and UCH programs that are designed to improve long-term care services and supports for residents. With alignment of mission and values, this partnership with United Church Homes will further our efforts to provide quality care to the residents of Central Ohio, Parsons said. This is an exciting opportunity for our residents, tenants, employees, and families. In January, UCH signed a management services and support contract with the Board of Directors of Community Care of Rutherford County, CCRC, to support the operation of its 131-bed skilled nursing community located in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. United Church Homes is one of the nation's largest nonprofit providers of senior living and healthcare services for older adults, ranking as the 25th largest sponsor of market rate and affordable housing units on the 2020 Leading Age Ziegler list of the 200 largest not-for-profit multi-site senior living organizations. United Church Homes operates 79 senior living communities in 14 states and 2 Native American nations. As an open and affirming organization that is also faith-inspired, United Church Homes maintains a covenant relationship with the United Church of Christ. Plat books are now available. The Richland Area Chamber of Commerce has plat books available for purchase. The cost is $30. The plat books make use of the Public Land Survey system to show how purchased property is divided within the county, city, or neighborhood. They serve as a reference for local government, farmers, private realty, surveying companies, and the general public. The books are available at the Chamber Office, 55 North Mulberry Street in Mansfield. Federal contract awarded to a local company. In Mansfield, National Patent Analytical of Mansfield has won a federal contract awarded for $34,200 from the Defense Logistics Agency in Columbus. The contract is for electrical and electronic equipment components. Local investors credited with a patent. In Washington, D.C., Bank of America, Charlotte, North Carolina, has been assigned a patent developed by 3 co-inventors for multi-computer processing for data authentication using a blockchain approach. The co-inventors are Carl R. Frederick, Lexington, Ohio, Sean M. Gutman, Waxhaw, North Carolina, and Joseph Castanado in North Glen, Colorado. Well, friends, that concludes the reading of the Mansfield News Journal for Monday, March the 29th. My name is Pam. Thank you for having me in your home. Please stay safe until we're together again. Be abundantly blessed today.